Hey friends, welcome to the channel. My name is Jeremiah and I'm a second year biomedical science student at Singapore Polytechnic. Today's video will be about the 5 things that I wish I knew before joining Polytechnic. I'll be covering topics like time management, school term, choosing electives, student leadership opportunities, and lastly, the most coveted of all, GPA calculation. This video was made in mind for final year secondary students, but even if you're in the JC system, it would be nice to look at the other side of the pond to see how we live. Now that's enough of the introduction, let's get on with the video. Firstly, I want to go over how the school year is split up. There are 2 semesters per year, with each semester lasting 2 terms, and this is generally the same format throughout all the polytechnic in Singapore. The first term of the semester usually runs about 7 to 8 weeks, with it ending in an exam called the MST, the mid-semester test. Afterwards, you get about a month's break, and then you get another 7 to 8 weeks, ending in a final exam called the EST, end of semester test. After you slog your way through the study, you get a really long break of about 7 to 8 weeks. That is a very hefty holiday. Personally, I really like it because it allows you to start new things like this, like a new YouTube channel. Alright, secondly, I want to talk a little about time management. In SP, we run on a 2-week system, so that consists of week A and week B. Within this week A and week B, the timetable kind of changes throughout these 2 weeks. So on some weeks you have practicals and some weeks you don't. And this can drastically affect your timetable and the time you get to go home. Because on some days you can end at 3 PM and some days you end at 6 PM. If you're really lucky, like me, last semester, you get a day's off, and that's a really good day to catch up on stuff that you missed out on throughout the week. With that timetable in mind, it's really difficult to fit all the activities you like to do. For my course, we generally start about 8 AM and we end about 5 PM. So by the time you get home and you think you want to unwind, you still have to catch up on assignments, so that's really daunting. For the athletes among us, and for those that are interested in other CCAs or community services, it's not uncommon to find yourself reaching home at about 10 PM. As you can see, time management is really important. Apart from the lectures that you have to keep up with additional assignments like online tests, ongoing projects, lab reports, additional essays, and these all pile up to be a lot of work. In general, we take 4 main modules per semester, and there are other modules that require ongoing projects like designing tools for the community, and those take up a significant amount of time as well. I'm not even going to try and go into the specifics of how I try to keep up. Alright, thirdly, I want to talk about electives. Starting in 2019, some of the year 1 students in SP are allowed to pick up 3 electives throughout their period of study. These electives operate on 3 ideas: broadening, deepening, and furthering. For broadening, is about taking electives that are outside your course of study. So that could be taking up conversational Malay or picking up a new subject like psychology. You could even do some charitable work like humanitarian study, or even go into business specifics or design tools that are beneficial for your business. For the idea of deepening, you find out more about the course of study that you're already in. For a science student like myself, the School of Chemical and Life Sciences, CLS, tailors specific electives for us. So these could be electives like pharmacology, biochemistry, forensics, or even cytogenetics. And the fun part about cytogenetics is that you get to go out of school and work with industry experts in their labs as they teach you. For furthering, it's related to electives that you build up over a series. So these series of electives could be advanced mathematics. For the humanitarian electives that I mentioned previously, you go through a series of electives, and at the end of it, you actually get a certificate that you can take with you as you leave SP, so that's pretty cool. There's some very interesting electives that you can actually look into. Personally, I went with a deepening route and took science courses like pharmacology and biochemistry. I'll leave the link to the official list of electives offered by SP, so you can go and check them out and see what electives excite you as well. Alright, fourthly, I want to talk about the student leadership opportunities offered in SP. This was actually a major confusion for me. I remember standing at the CCA fair, being horribly lost about which of these CCAs allowed me to pursue my leadership opportunities. To start, all CCAs are under the Singapore Polytechnic Student Union, otherwise known as SPSU. If you're a student of SP, you're automatically part of SPSU. Under SPSU, you also get to hold leadership opportunities. In order to hold a leadership position in SPSU, you have to go through a series of interviews in your year 1, and subsequently you go through voting system by your school members. After the parent group of SPSU, you have your various academic schools that also run their own CCAs. For example, I'm in the School of Chemical and Life Sciences as I'm a biomedical science student, and within that, you're part of the CLS club. Personally, I hold a leadership position in the CLS Management Committee. In general, you can find these CCAs really easily. You just go on your Instagram page and you type in SP and look for the club that you're looking for. Interviews for these clubs normally come out through the Instagram page, so do make sure that you're on it so that you can find out more. Apart from that, you have your various interest groups and your sports clubs. But if you find nothing that you fancy, you can start your own CCA as well. All CCAs in SP operate under the same general structure of there having a president, vice president, treasurer, and your various committee heads. The scope of these clubs are normally to plan activities for the members of your club. So these could be SP students or your CCA club students. And through these activities, you're able to earn CCA points that go in your official CCA testimony. And if you never find a club that you truly like, you can always send in the proposal to start your own CCA, or there's always the option of the going home club. And finally, I want to go through the coveted topic of GPA. I'm not going to go into the technicalities of how you calculate GPA because that's a video in of itself. But to put it simply, the fundamentals of GPA are that everything matters. This starts with your attendance, your class participation, your lab reports, and obviously your exam. The GPA structure works out of 4, and every semester you take X number of modules. In my first semester in SP, I took 7 modules: Physiology and Biochemistry, Microbiology, Chemistry 1, Math 1, Good Biosafety Practices, Narrative Thinking, and Critical Thinking. For these modules, you're given a different credit unit for each of them. For example, for Physiology and Biochemistry, the credit unit was 5, and a simpler module like Narrative Thinking with a credit unit of 2. These modules convert to a percentage at the end of the semester, so these percentages are made up of the various tests that you do throughout the semester. If you score 80%, that will be an A and a 4.0 GPA for that module. If you score 75%, that will be a B+, and that will be a 3.5 GPA. 70% will be a B, which converts to a 3.0 GPA, and so on. Your overall GPA for the semester is the sum of the individual GPA components divided by the total credit unit. So that would be your GPA score for that module multiplied by the credit unit, and the sum of all of that divided by the total credit unit. For example, if you were to score a B+ in the 2 credit module, you have your final grade as 3.96. But if you score a B+ in a 4 credit module, your final GPA will be a 3.92. As you can see, scoring badly on a high credit unit severely affects your GPA. And so that brings us to the end of the video on the things that I wish I knew before joining Polytechnic. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer them. Alternatively, you can email me or message me on Instagram. All details are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.